Hi everyone, welcome back to Healthy with Nicole. In today's video, I wanted to talk about plant-based diets and gut health. So a lot of people are jumping on to the plant-based diet bandwagon, have been for many years. And I can tell you from personal experience, it is a way of life. I think people get into the plant-based or vegan diets and it's way more than a diet. It's a way of thinking, it's a way of living. And I did it for 15 years. I was pretty hardcore vegan. I didn't buy any leather. I didn't eat anything animal related. And I was very conscious of the environment. And I did it for really good reasons. I really thought it was best for my health and best for the planet. And of course, now I have very different feelings about that. I want to talk about why I think it's actually a really bad idea to go plant-based for people that already have existing gut health issues. It comes down to our bodies aren't really able to break down and digest a lot of the plant materials, and also that it's a lot of toxins that are actually in the plant foods that never were supposed to be in our body. So if you think about the human gut, compare that to an animal, let's say a ruminant animal. We have one stomach. A ruminant animal has two stomachs. A ruminant animal can eat any plant, shrub, vegetable matter, any amount of cellulose or fiber, and it doesn't matter. They're not gonna have a problem with it. They are designed to eat those foods and then absorb the nutrients. Humans, on the other hand, we do not have the ability to break down that kind of fiber. And so a little bit here and there is fine, our body will deal with it. But when we start eating a lot of fiber, then we're gonna start seeing problems. And the reason is because it's going to sit in our gut, it's going to irritate our gut, it's going to inflame our gut, and it's going to create a bacteria situation where it's growing endotoxins in the gut. And once you start breeding these bacteria, you can have SIBO that can lead to generalized inflammation in the gut and more and more and more problems. So that's just one. And I can tell you from being a plant-based eater for so long and being on a vegan diet, when you are eating, quote, the right way, you are eating a ton of fiber because you're eating kale salads and all kinds of salads and broccoli and cauliflower and what else? Tons of beans, right? Legumes is like the source of protein. Also, nuts and seeds are the main source of protein, and all of these have problems with them. First of all, fiber, let's just go there. All of these foods, if you combine them together, are just way too much fiber for a human body to digest. And I know that my typical day was smoothies and salads and then some maybe cooked vegetables, sometimes even in the evening. So all day long, I would be stuffing all this fiber through my body, and it did revolt. It ultimately could not handle all that fiber. And I was always bloated and having stomach aches and cramping and constipation. And no wonder, because I was eating way too much fiber that my body just could not handle. So fiber is probably the number one problem with plant-based or vegan diets. The second problem is that these foods oftentimes do contain a lot of naturally occurring and not naturally occurring chemicals that can irritate the gut. So let's just go straight towards the number one, which is going to be glyphosate, foods that we typically eat, corn, grain, and also the pesticides. Even if you are eating organic, you're going to still encounter some things like fertilizers, and let's just say right there, your organic foods don't come without problems because fertilizers are an issue. But even the most of our diets are containing plant foods that are grown with pesticides or herbicides or fungicides. And so your best bet, yes, is going to be organic, but you can't always guarantee you're going to be avoiding those things. But even if you are buying organic foods, you're going to be consuming the naturally occurring chemicals that are in plants. Now, I think that we are able to handle these to some degree, depending on your gut health. But if you are already inflamed and irritated and not able to digest things well, these could probably throw you over the edge in many cases, which is, I think, what happened with me. So you have to really look at all of the foods that you're eating. What are they providing your body with? Is it you're consuming these foods for fiber, because we know we don't need that much fiber, if any? Are you consuming them for vitamins and minerals, because they're not a great source of it because we don't absorb them that well? you know, and then proteins from legumes and nuts and seeds. Well, they're not a complete protein, and they do have some irritating factors to them besides the fiber, like lectins, irritate the gut. So there's problems with all of those main foods that come, you know, that are highly consumed in a plant-based diet. And then on the flip side of that, what are we not getting? So we're not getting one of the most important things for gut health, which is glycine. Glycine is an amino acid, and it is crucial for all of your connective tissue, your gut lining tissue, your hair, skin, and nails. So we don't get any of that when we're on a plant-based diet. And so that is already problem number one, and it's a big one. Other than that, we also aren't getting things like enough B12. B12 is important for thyroid function. And as I've mentioned in other videos, when your thyroid starts to decrease its function, it impacts digestion, and then therefore you're setting yourself up for more problems that are digestive related going down the road. And those are just a couple. You know, also selenium and zinc are mostly available in animal foods, and those are necessary for thyroid function. Again, thyroid is your master gland. When that gland is not functioning properly, you're going to have problems in all other areas. So I think it's not only what we are getting that we don't want, but also what are we not getting that we really need. And some of those there are really important, along with many others that aren't necessarily important for gut health, but things like creatine. Creatine is, you know, popular for muscle building, but it's also used for anti-aging, for brain health, for joint health, and many other things. And that's not available really in a plant-based diet at all. So we have to look at realistically, what are we eating and why? I hear you on eating what you think is a diet that supports, you know, animal welfare. But the truth is, and I live down a farm, so the truth is that we actually, even eating a plant-based diet, still we kill habitats, we kill animals, so we can't even really use that as an excuse. And we get far better nutrition from animal foods. So I think we have to rethink how we are looking at these plant-based diets and see if they really are the best thing for our bodies and for our guts. So I can tell you in my experience, absolutely was not. And my body only got better once I eliminated all of those plants. So I'll talk more in another video about specific plant foods that are damaging to the thyroid, which I mentioned earlier. And I think there's a lot here to unpack and talk about, because just going plant-based is not the answer for so many things and so many reasons. So anyway, if you like that video, give it a thumbs up. Comment below, how have you seen your health change going vegan or going plant-based, or maybe going the other direction and going more primal or animal-based? So I would love to hear your thoughts. So comment below, and I will see you in the next video.